Welcome to today's meditation. Find a comfortable position and let your eyes close when you're ready. Before we begin, a brief reflection on today's theme. There's a difference between rigidity and standing firm. Rigidity is fear dressed up as strength. It's holding on so tight you can't breathe. It breaks under pressure. Standing firm is different. It's knowing what matters to you, knowing where your line is, and staying there even when it's uncomfortable. Trees don't fight the wind. They bend, but their roots hold. They sway without being uprooted. Today we practice that kind of strength, not the brittle kind, the rooted kind. Let yourself settle into whatever position you're in. Feel the weight of your body against the surface beneath you. Notice where you make contact, where gravity pulls you down. Your breath is already moving. You don't need to change it, just notice it. The inhale, the exhale. That rhythm has been with you your whole life. Reliable, constant. Like roots beneath a tree. Let your attention rest in your body. What do you notice? Tension somewhere? Space somewhere else? You don't need to fix anything. Just notice what's here. Most of us learned somewhere along the way that strength means not moving, not changing, holding our position no matter what. We learned to tense up, to grip, to resist. And we called that strong. But watch what happens to things that can't bend. They shatter. They snap. They break under the very pressure they were trying to withstand. Real strength looks different. A tree in a storm doesn't try to stop the wind. It moves with it. Branches swing, leaves flutter, the trunk sways. But the roots hold. Deep in the ground, out of sight, the tree is anchored. That's the difference. Rigidity fights the storm. Standing firm survives it. Think about a time you held on too tight. Maybe it was an argument where you wouldn't budge. Maybe it was a plan that wasn't working, but you kept pushing anyway. Maybe it was an idea about how things should be. How did that feel in your body? Probably tense, clenched, exhausting. Rigidity takes so much energy. You have to fight against everything that's moving around you. Every change feels like a threat. Every challenge requires you to push back harder. Standing firm is different. It's not about fighting the external. It's about knowing the internal. What matters to you? What you won't compromise on? What your line is? And then staying there. Not because you're rigid, but because you're rooted. Notice your breath again, how it moves without you forcing it, how your body expands and contracts. There's flexibility in every breath, and steadiness too. The rhythm holds even as the depth changes. This is what standing firm feels like from the inside. Not locked, not rigid, flexible on the surface, anchored underneath. Here's what most people get wrong about boundaries. They think a boundary is a wall, something hard and immovable, something that keeps everything out. But a wall doesn't discriminate. It blocks the bad and the good equally. It isolates you. A boundary is more like a root system. It determines where you're planted, what soil you grow in, what nourishes you and what doesn't. It's alive. It can grow. It can shift over time. But it still holds you steady. Think about something in your life right now where you feel pushed. Maybe someone wants you to do something you don't want to do. Maybe circumstances are forcing a change you're not ready for. Maybe there's pressure to be different than you are. Notice how you're responding. Are you tensing up? Building walls? Getting rigid? Or are you checking your roots? Asking what actually matters here. Finding the ground you won't leave. There's a huge difference between these two. One exhausts you, one sustains you. Standing firm doesn't mean you never change your mind. It doesn't mean you're always right. It doesn't mean you refuse to listen. It means you know the difference between preference and principle, between what you want and what you won't give up. The things at your core, those you protect. Everything else can flex, can bend in the wind, can adapt to what's needed. That's not weakness. That's wisdom. Feel your body again, the weight of it, the places where you're supported. You're not floating. You're grounded, connected to something solid beneath you. That's what roots feel like. Not tension, connection. There's another way to think about this. Imagine you're standing in a river. The water is rushing past you, pushing against your legs. If you try to stop the water, you'll exhaust yourself. If you try to fight the current, you'll lose. But if you plant your feet, feel the riverbed beneath you. Let the water flow around you. You can stand there for hours, not fighting, just present. The water keeps moving. Circumstances keep changing. People keep pushing. But you stay where you are. Not because you're immovable, because you're grounded. This is what standing firm looks like in daily life. Someone criticizes you. You listen. You consider if they're right. If they are, you adjust. That's flexibility. But if they're attacking something at your core, your values, your integrity, your sense of who you are, you don't budge. Not out of stubbornness, out of self-knowledge. You've done the work to know what you're made of, and you're not willing to compromise that. Notice your body right now. Are you holding tension somewhere you don't need to? Your shoulders, your jaw, your hands. Can you release what's unnecessary while still staying present, still staying here? That's the practice. Release what you don't need. Keep what you do. The people who seem most unshakable aren't the ones who never move. They're the ones who know what moves them and what doesn't. They don't waste energy defending things that don't matter. They save their steadfastness for what does. That clarity is rare. Most of us fight for things we don't even care about. Out of habit, out of ego, out of fear of looking weak. Real strength is being willing to appear flexible on things that aren't essential. So you have the energy to stand firm on things that are. Think about the decisions you've been avoiding, the boundaries you've been afraid to set, the conversations you've been putting off. What would it look like to approach them from your roots instead of your fears? Not with aggression, not with walls, but with clarity about what you're willing to flex on and what you're not. Standing firm isn't about winning. It's about staying connected to yourself, even when it's uncomfortable, even when others don't like it, even when the easier path would be to just give in. You don't stand firm to prove a point. You stand firm because some things are worth protecting. Because you've learned what happens when you don't. The slow erosion, the quiet resentment, the loss of trust in yourself. Standing firm is how you stay whole. Let your breath deepen if it wants to, or stay shallow if that's what's natural right now. Notice the pause between exhale and inhale. That small space where nothing is happening. Stillness in the middle of movement. Roots beneath swaying branches. You carry this with you, this capacity to stand firm without becoming rigid. It's not something you need to build. It's something you uncover by getting clear on what matters and letting everything else flex. As we begin to close, bring your attention back to where you are. The sounds around you, the temperature of the air, the feel of your body in this space. There's no rush. Let yourself transition slowly, like a tree settling after the wind dies down. Still, but not rigid. When you're ready, let your eyes open. Take this with you. Not the tension of holding on, but the steadiness of knowing what holds you. Stand firm, but stay flexible. That's the strength that lasts. Thank you for practicing with me today. See you next time, because meditation should be free.